Churches, chairs and Cody, a chair's perspective. 2 for a woman, 3 for a man, I hear Kay say aloud, reciting Cody's poetic prayer. Her loving hands on my skin as she adorns me, offering me new life, whilst outside the sounds of St. Nicholas's bells toll for each human death, ringing out over the town, announcing yet another soul parting. But who will stop and sit 1 hour with me? I see the prayerful dropping away from their common prayer. Families once united in their Catholic faith, now prayerless, priestless, soul-stricken and broken. Catholicism groaning under the weight of its materialistic possessions, raised on sweated pennies of the poor, the pounding pulpits pounding no more, cool comfort for the ordinary man from the messengers of God. Only in a utopia, I hear them say, could we hope to be united in religious beliefs, holding fast to a faith that binds us as one and true the one God. But come and sit 1 hour with me, taking time to dream of change, and people in pubs and shops standing on the street or leaning on the bridge, accepting different beliefs, leaving each man to his own faith. Each day we write our own story, Catholic, atheist, Muslim or Kardashian, knowing each of us moves on a gossamer thread, mortally tethered to its patient web. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you.
This poem is dedicated to Sean for his anniversary in September. It's called A Cloak Around Her. Yellow sand bucket to empty or fill, holds on, let's go, in equal measure. White cockle shell lines her pocket, poking the scab of yesterday's dreams. Waves roll, sway and dip, sand-etched name blows away, the ocean a cloak around her.
Side effects by Frank Ormsby. Hallucinations may be among the side effects of some medications. Wherever I sit, at the corner of my eye, they fade in and fade out, melt into elsewhere before I can see faces. Who is that girl I sense at my shoulder? Who is that dancing lazily on my table until I look up? Are they playing a game? Do they mean me any harm? Not one has appeared twice or uttered a sound. Remote, indifferent, they will never amount to a family or a circle of friends. Meanwhile, a black spider with his heart in his mouth is legging it across the floor tiles towards the nearest shade. He is strangely human and visible all the way.
St. John's Wort, poet Sean Hewitt. Named for a man who carries his head on a platter. For a day when the sun bears its light over the land so slowly, so measurably, that the night crouches back and waits. A token of love, of patience, of the will to lift the mind outside oneself and let it rest. Let it heal. Alone I remember this little herb, the yellow spikes of the flower, frill of stamen, at something akin to happiness. It brings stars, its tiny play at hope, its way of lifting through the grass. And I brought it to you, a light to illume the dark caves of your eyes. At the door of the ward, being searched, the nurse took from me my gathering of flowers. I found you on the bed, staring, still in shock. Bringing no gift, I took my head in my empty hands like a world and held it.
This poem, The Cup, is taken from Michael Cody's book, Oven Lane. The cup. Before you sleep, take the cup. Toss out the dregs, turn on the tap, rinse, swill out, and rinse again. Before you lay it by to drain, how many mouths have touched it? Whose? How many times? And when will it be broken? For surely the cup will come to be broken. Water, lips, and a time for breaking were implied in the making.
This is part of The Deserted Village by Oliver Goldsmith. Sweet Auburn, loveliest village of the plain, where health and plenty cheer the labouring swain, where smiling spring its earliest visit paid, and parting summer's lingering blooms delayed. Lovely bowers of innocence and ease, seats of my youth, when every sport could please, how often have I lingered o'er thy green, where humble happiness endeared each scene. How often have I paused on every charm, the sheltered cot, the cultivated farm, the never-failing brook, the busy mill, the decent church that topped the neighbouring hill. The hawthorn bush, with seats beneath the shade for talking age and whispering lovers made. How often have I blessed the coming day when toil remitting lent its turn to play. All the village train from labour free led up their sports beneath the spreading tree, while many a pastime circled in the shade, the young contending as the old surveyed. Many a gambol frolicked o'er the ground, and slates of art and feet of strength went round. And still, as each repeated pleasure tired, succeeding sports the mirthful band inspired. The dancing pair that simply sought renown by holding out to tire each other down. The swain, mistrustless of his smutted face, while secret laughter tittered round the place. The bashful virgin's sidelong looks of love, the matron's glance that would those looks reprove. These were thy charms, sweet village. Sports like these, with sweet succession, taught even toil to please. These round thy bowers their cheerful influence shed. These were thy charms, but all these charms are fled. Sweet smiling village, loveliest of the lawn, thy sports are fled, and thy charms withdrawn. That's the end of the first part.
So this poem was inspired by the Carrick knot, the knot that's particular to the fishermen in Carrick on shore. The Carrick knot. Heat haze on the river, small boats ease down the slipway. Silence broken by the odd scrape of boot on stone, the gentle plash of water on wood. Fishermen keep faith at the bend of the river. Moontide memories of those who ventured across the generations to navigate the unknown, splice timbers, weave ropes, drop anchor in icy waters. The seasonal ebb and flow, boys who left, returning as men, men who left, never to return. Poets writing sad songs, the promise of hope on the wind, women waiting steadfast at the bend of the river. The green and gold carried in cadence of an ancient tongue to the newfound land, idiom to bridge the centuries. Morning mist on the water, fish rise to the bait, all calm at the bend of the river.
I'm going to read this poem, Leaving Early by Leanne O'Sullivan. And this is especially for S and her family today. Leaving Early, Leanne O'Sullivan. My love, tonight, Vanula is your nurse. You'll hear her voice sing song around the ward, lifting a wing at the shore of your darkness. I heard that in another life, she too journeyed through a storm, a kind of curse, with the ocean rising darkly around her, fierce with cold and no resting place, only the frozen rocks that tore her feet, the light on her shoulders. And no cure there but to wait it out. If while I'm gone, your fever comes down, if the small, salt-laden shapes of her song appear to you as a first glimmer of earthlight, follow the sweet, hopeful voice of that landing. She will keep you safe beneath her wing.